Hi everyone! For those who are just joining me for the first time, welcome. And for those who've been here before, thanks for coming back. I know that I've been away for a little bit and there's been a lot that's happened, but I wanted to put things out there on an appropriate timeline. So, this will be my final tea time for my surrogacy journeys. And let's talk about what happened. So, I had met the couple, and I think I've discussed the couple previously, and I found them to be very overly concerned about me. And I tried to justify it and say they were excited or they were just worried or, whatever. But ultimately, I, especially after speaking with the counselor at Create, was like, this isn't going to work. This is not something that's going to be better than the last time. It'll be different, but it won't be better. And I can't be worried the whole time. Are they going to tell me I can't do this, I can't do that? And if they just let things be, the sad thing was, because ultimately it came down to my doctor prescribing me a medication for my blood pressure, but they didn't give me 5 seconds to digest that. And if they had, then they would have realized that it was the exact medication that the clinic at Mount Sinai wanted me to be on. But they didn't give me that breath. They're just like, oh no, the baby can't have that. Beta blockers are not good. Well, give me 5 seconds. Let me process this. Let me get the medication. Let me make my own decisions. And then we can go from there. It wasn't till about 3 or 4 days later when I filled the prescription. It was after I told them that this isn't going to work, that I found out that it was actually the medication that I should be on. So that's unfortunate. So that's kind of where the second story ended. And I thought about it, I'm like, do I really want to do this? Is this something that I really need to do? And after a bit of soul searching and thinking, I'm like, yes, I really want to do this, and I really need to do this. And so I went to the agency and said, I still want to go ahead. I need to find somebody who I can relate to more and who I can feel safe and comfortable with. I'm not having anything like what happened the last time. And I was very much supported, and I found this couple who is amazing. I hope somebody blesses them. It would have been perfect. They were very nice. We connected really well. In the end, it turned out that because I had made that switch, somehow along the way, the counselor at Create Jan decided that I must somehow be mentally unstable because I wanted somebody who would respect me. I don't know how that equates, but I went from her saying, yes, you're approved, to finding out with the second couple of this journey that I wanted to take. She said no. So the only thing that I can think of is that changing my mind and going from somebody who would suffocate me to someone who I felt very comfortable with and knew that I could give them a good and healthy baby. I don't know. Somehow I became crazy or something because she said that I wasn't stable and I couldn't do it. So I'm still waiting on the paperwork to find out exactly what happened. I don't know if it's this way in everywhere, and this is my personal opinion from my experiences, and I am a highly educated person, so this isn't just from the seat of my pants. I have a lot of experience in different things. Anyways, there's a lot of secrecy around it all. They don't talk to you like a person. You come in, especially at Create, and you are a dollar sign. And at least that's very much how I felt this time around. The last time around, Dr. Bratz was beautiful. He was great. He could have explained some things more, and I would have liked that being my first journey. But ultimately, he was great. And he didn't make me wait too long, so he respected my time. But this Dr. Sharma is a joke. She goes out there and she's trying to, do good things for surrogacy when she's shitting all over the surrogates in reality. I've been waiting over a week for her to phone me back just to discuss what happened. I don't anticipate she's going to call, because if she would, she should have by now. And the last email I sent out, I got ignored. So I think this is where the ignoring comes from my last guys who I gave a baby to, grew a baby for, whatever, however you want to word it. They come by it honestly through the clinic, because they are so good at ignoring. So a few weeks ago, it was in my mind that Father's Day is coming up, and so I was feeling sad about the loss, which wouldn't have been a loss if they didn't try to invite me in the first place. And I really wanted to send them a Father's Day card, but not a very nice one, because to me they are not fathers. They are not worthy of that title. They are fathers technically, but they are the most ungrateful people I have ever met. So I wanted to essentially write them a Father's Day card to say that. And so I thought, well, I am deeply impacted by this, so I think that, I've got things under control, things are doing really well and everything, but it wouldn't hurt to have a little bit of grief counseling just to process the loss, because I still can't understand how a person could do something so wonderful and so beautiful and somebody treat them like shit and not be excited about this baby, and something that should have been a very beautiful experience be so horrific. It just shouldn't happen. So I was calling Jan for that, and when I set it up in the soonest day available is usually a couple weeks. So it wasn't until the Monday of the long weekend in May. And I know that's early when I know Father's Day is coming up, but it just occurred to me that, it wouldn't hurt to have a little extra support with the process of grieving. There's not many things that I've had that I've actually grieved for or grieved properly for. So I thought, I'll see who I can reach out to, because there is a lot of loss in surrogacy and IVF on so many different levels, not just because of what I went through, but there's miscarriages, there's stillbirths, there's other parents that surrogates, intended parents that treat surrogates like shit. It's not just mine. There's actually far too many of them that just do not appreciate what we do for them. Anyways, so it was May 23rd, I believe was the Monday. Yeah, because the 24th was Tuesday. So May 23rd, and I emailed her, because I had time, because it was 2 weeks from then. And I emailed Jan, and I said, so I realize it's the holiday Monday. Are you still going to be making the call to me for the appointment? And I got no response. So I could only assume that no, she wasn't going to call. It's a holiday. Why would I think she would call? Because there's been some problems with her app. Her app's a piece of shit. Calendarly, I think is what they call it. And it's a piece of shit. Don't use it. Find something better. There's many better things out there. So, I went, and I've had problems in the past with booking where I don't know 100% it's Calendarly. I'm assuming it is because of her response to when I talk to her. She blames Calendarly, the app. But I don't know for sure it's not her. Just not calling. Because she's not called. She's been late. She's eaten through the phone calls, which is really gross to have somebody snapping in your ear, eating. It's like gross. You don't want that in your ear. When you're having a professional call you, that is not what you want. I have more professionalism in my pinky finger than this woman has in her entire life. And she's not part of a college. She's not registered anywhere. She is no more than my grandma doing this, as far as I'm concerned. There's no regulation. There's nothing over her. Which, again, is what she has told me, because I asked these questions. I believe that I have a right to know, as somebody who has been in the College of Social Workers and Social Service Workers, and had been trying to get into the College of Psychotherapists. It really bothered me that she's not part of the college. There's no one holding her accountable, and this has been made very clear to me through this experience. She's good as a friend or a grandma or somebody to talk to, but she's not good as a counselor of any sort. She agreed with everything I said, no matter what it was. She just agreed with it. And then come this time, like, I know about her dog, I know about her kids, I know about her religion. Like, these are things I don't need to know about as a client. Like, come on. We're not friends. This is not set up for us to be friends. You're there for when things go wrong with surrogacy like they did, to help me figure out how to process that. Because you should have been through it enough times that you would have enough knowledge behind you to help somebody through that. But you don't. So, don't go to create and use her, because I don't know what the other counselors are like, but from my experience, Jana's useless and tit in a bowl. And even my daughter, she'd go by and she'd be like, oh my God, she sounds like a friend. And I'm like, yeah, I know. Because she's not helpful. It's not helpful for somebody to just agree with you. Yes, they were pieces of shit. And yes, they treated me horribly. And yes, I had every right to be upset. But you just don't tell me that I'm cleared my psych eval when I haven't. Don't tell me what I want to hear. That is unprofessional as well. Tell me as it is. And she knows me well enough to know that that's how I work. I tell you as it is. Whoever it is, you don't like it? Don't listen. I don't care. This is more for me and to help people who want to be helped than for anything else. So anyways, that's my little thing on Jan. So yesterday I found out, go back a little bit. So this 23rd happened, and in my head, I was not getting a call from her because she didn't respond to the email. So as far as I know, she did not confirm the appointment because I needed it confirmed because it was a holiday. And I got a phone call from an unknown number, which is how she calls, but I'm not thinking about this. I went to the dog park. I'm going for a walk in the forest with my friend and the dogs. And they're having a blast because, they're labs and they love the water. And anyways, irrelevant. So I get this phone call, and all I hear is heavy breathing on the other end. And I have had so many crank calls, telemarketers, like so many calls that are just annoying. And so I essentially said, if you're going to phone me, you need to fucking talk. Or don't call me. Don't waste my time. And then a few minutes later, I hung up. And then a few minutes later, I get the same call. And they don't say anything. It's from an unknown number. And I'm like, oh, this has got to be a telemarketer. And they're just annoying as shit. And I don't know if I was just in a bad mood that day or what. Because I don't know. I don't remember what was going on. I was in the forest. I was taking the dogs for a walk. I should have been in a good mood. But I think I was just irritable with the phone bothering me. When I didn't expect it to ring. My phone never rings. Nobody ever calls me. I call them. Anyways, I tell them, whoever's on the other line, that you need to fucking talk if you're going to call, or don't fucking call me, and said a few more choice words and hung up. So I'm going over in my head, because it's what I do. It's who I am. I go over my phone calls, conversations, days at work. Like, I process everything that I do. I don't know if everybody else does that, but I process everything just to find out what did I do, what could I have done better, all that kind of stuff. Because my goals in life have always been to be the best me I can be. So I'm always trying to improve myself and all that. So I'm sitting there thinking, and then I looked at my watch, and I'm like, oh shit, that might have been Jan, because it was the right time that she was supposed to call. Being an unknown number, and being that she was probably 95% chance calling from home. There's no way for me to get a hold of her. It was a holiday Monday. The office is not going to be picked up on, so it's not like calling the office and talking to someone's going to work. The email didn't work, so I had no way to get a hold of her and apologize and say, if that was you, I am so sorry. That wasn't meant at you. That was assuming that you were a telemarketer or some weird creepy guy breathing heavy in my ear, because that's all I heard. Fast forward a couple days later, I get a message from CFC saying, you're more than 6 months postnatal. We are not supporting you talking to Jan anymore. Please contact your current agency. How do they know that there's a current agency? I'm still curious about that. I don't trust Jan to believe that she didn't tell them that I was with another agency. That wasn't her place to tell them. But I don't trust her that she didn't. Because all she ever tells me is what I want to hear. Which is not impressing me. Okay, and then a couple days after that, the new guys that were absolutely amazing and beautiful and wonderful and are so deserving of a child, said that Create told them that they shouldn't go with me. So I'm like, what do you mean Create told you? Like, is there something wrong? So I emailed them and said, I need my records to find out, like, and what is it? Like, what's wrong with me? And the agency reached out as well and apparently spoke with Jan, not in any detail, but still they spoke with them, or she spoke with them, but she won't speak with me about why I supposedly did not pass my psychological evaluation. So there's a lot of just issues with Create. It's overly busy. You wait way too long. You're not really treated very nice when at least not this time. Dr. Sharma's team is shit. I was not treated very nice. I wasn't told what was going on. They just come to this room, come to this room. I'm like, what the hell? This isn't what happened last time. You don't know what's going on. And none of the guys got to come in again. So, I took pictures for the first guys for this round, but it didn't go anywhere, so unfortunately. So I was told yesterday that after the agency spoke with Jan that I am not emotionally ready to do this. And that by the time I am, I'm probably going to be too old because I'm already on that borderline. So this was very upsetting to hear because I feel very ready to do this. I want to help somebody. And as a sexual abuse survivor, I kind of found it thrilling in the sense that my body is good and it can do good things. And they took that away. Also, Jan agreed, mind you, I think that's just because she agrees with everything, but she understood, and so has everybody I've talked to, that I have talked to. I haven't talked to Dr. Sharma, but everyone I have talked to has said they understand how important this is for me to have a good journey and a positive journey, which I'm now not going to get. I've essentially been told I'm crazy, I'm too old, I'm too sick. Having blood pressure issues with IVF is not unusual. Having the gestational diabetes in any pregnancy is a risk. This does not feel right. It does not feel fair. I really needed that journey to feel better about what happened in the first one. I will never know that little baby is okay. And I really needed to have something else to focus on, to know that I've done a good thing for good people and that this person is having a wonderful life. Even if it's just through pictures, even if it's just in my head because of these pictures. Because all I can think of right now is if they treat their surrogate mother like that, what the hell are they treating their baby like? Because they didn't even have the nursery even close to being done by the time the baby came. They weren't sure if they even wanted to come for the birth. Like, it was a nightmare. I really, really needed a good story. So unfortunately, this is the end. I have absolutely no respect for Dr. Sharma or Jan. Very little respect for Create. It's very disappointing how I've been treated this whole time for both journeys through Create. I think it was a conflict of interest for Jan to do the second journey, Segaval, because I was hormonal for the first one to begin with, and hormonal for quite a while afterwards, had some postpartum depression. I'm on new meds for that. Things are, fine again, but I really needed something good. So I just thought I would come on here, explain where things are at, and say thank you for joining me for my journeys. And unfortunately, as far as I can tell from my understanding, this is going to be where it has to end. I'm not feeling very good about that at all. It's hard to not be eaten up by the negative thoughts, but I'm a strong person, and I feel like they're not giving me credit. The bullshit that I dealt with all through the last time, and they're treating me like this now and saying this about me now. I have dealt with so much worse and come out the other side with flying colors. So I don't get it. Anyways, I could just, I don't know. I just want to sit here and cry, but I just thought I would come and give you the respect of closure and knowing where things were at. And so this is my closure. For everybody who is having a journey, good luck. God bless. Sticky vibes. Definitely sending sticky dust all your way. Hopefully it's for good people. Make sure that you research them and make sure that you do not turn a blind eye to any red flags. And become knowledgeable and ask questions about the clinics. Because I right now have no respect. I've been given no respect from Create for this journey whatsoever. And I just wanted to use my superpower and be able to make a family. And I'm very hurt that I can't. So I hope for the last guys that we matched with and that were beautiful and wonderful, many blessings to you. For the other family, I hope you get what you need. Sorry it couldn't be me, but I am far too independent to have people telling me what I can and can't do and what I should and shouldn't be worried about, etc. And I know that you meant well, but I can't. That's suffocating to me. But hopefully something good comes from this, because right now I'm not seeing a lot of good. Yeah, I don't want to say anything else, because you're not supposed to say anything if you have nothing nice to say. And I think I've oversaid because I've not had nice things to say. So God bless, and be kind to yourself. Love yourself, respect yourself, and use your superpower if you can for the right people. Take care.